But that lady, that new press secretary, she's a
With that video, dude.
She's a gangster. They're prepared. And you know why they're prepared? Because they're trying to play gotcha.
Yep.
So she played gotcha with them. She checkmated them.
She came in there with that fucking Elon Musk flamethrower.
Play that video.
Watching this clip, I couldn't help but think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists. But they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years.
The women on The View criticized White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt for not staying quiet during their political remarks. Their sharp comments continued, aiming to challenge her. The exchange caught the attention of Joe Rogan, who spoke out on a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience. Rogan criticized the hosts, calling their behavior out of touch. He said their discussion felt more like a performance than real debate. Subscribe to stay updated on moments like this.
Lady, that new press secretary, she's a
With that video, dude.
She's a gangster. Have you seen that video?
You've never seen someone more prepared for a question in your life, Jamie.
Have you seen that? You know what I'm talking about?
Small point on that, not the big point, but small point. She was so prepared.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, she's supposed to be prepared.
That's why I said you've never seen someone
You know
more
why?
prepared.
For that.
They're
Joe Rogan began by commending Karoline Leavitt's resilience and her ability to handle whatever questions the legacy media sent her way. He pointed out that many Americans have already noticed it. She speaks with clarity, keeps her answers focused, and delivers them with confidence. In his view, few press secretaries have appeared as steady, prepared, and informed. By contrast, he described President Joe Biden's former press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, as ineffective, saying her briefings felt scripted and offered little substance beyond prepared remarks. Rogan added that seeing someone as capable, articulate, and bold as Lav in the role feels like a welcome change. However, he argued that the hosts of The View interpreted differently. Rather than applaud what they see as strength, he claimed they treat her assertiveness as something negative. According to his remarks, a woman who thinks independently and refuses to follow a predictable line shouldn't be criticized simply for standing firm in her views.
I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
She's probably been put in there because according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
What was Karoline Leavitt's supposed offense? According to her supporters, it was nothing more than having the nerve to tell the hosts she wouldn't tolerate what she viewed as their over-the-top political talking points. For some progressive viewers, that single remark landed hard. They didn't expect it, especially not from a young, sharp, unapologetic conservative woman. Yet, Karoline didn't hesitate. She stood firm, challenged the panel directly, and called out what she believed was clear double standards. Even more surprising, her stance echoed criticism from an unlikely corner. Comedian and commentator Bill Maher has also faulted The View for leaning too heavily on dramatic outrage and constant identity-based arguments. His remark suggests that frustration with the show's tone isn't limited to one side of the political spectrum.
Someone must tell the usual suspects on the far left that the saying is, when you're in a hole, stop digging. You just lost a crazy contest to an actual crazy person. What a shocker that the people who see everything through the lens of race and sex see their election loss as a result of racism and sexism. Yes, if only we weren't so irredeemably unenlightened, we would have elected a black president by now. Oh, what, we did?
When Bill Maher steps away from the far left, maybe it's a sign to reflect. And Karoline Leavitt didn't just hand him the mirror. She held it up for everyone to see their own foolishness. At first, she ignored the hosts of The View, focused on more pressing matters than a panel of critics. But they didn't stop. They mocked her credentials, ridiculed her experience, and even claimed her score of 10 was the only reason she got the job. That was the turning point. Karoline's prior silence had already spoken volumes. When she finally responded, she did so with precision, confidence, and sharpness without apology. Her words weren't random. They exposed the petty, envious, and desperate tendencies of women who claim to champion female independence.